Larry Flynt, thank you for welcoming us here into your fabulous office in Los Angeles. I know you've got, you wanted us to come out here and see you because you had something on your mind, something you wanted to say, so I want to give you the floor and tell us what we're here for.
I'm endorsing Hillary Clinton for president, but I don't think she needs my endorsement.
Okay. I'm just curious about what is it, you say you've always been a Hillary supporter, what is it about her, why do you confer your endorsement on her, what is it why would she make a great president?
My endorsement is a little bit different than others. I take a look at this Supreme Court and I realize that they've gradually emerged as a new legislative body because Congress won't do their job. They wind up making the rules that everybody else lives by. And we've had a right-leaning court for half a century, and it's time that that was changed. If Hillary gets in, chances are she's going to have an opportunity to appoint 2, maybe 3 justices to the court. We could shift the balance of that.
There are a lot of people who regard Hillary Clinton as a feminist icon. You know, she could be the first female president. She has a lot of female supporters, a lot of liberal female supporters, who I imagine when they hear your endorsement of her, they will think, that's a little incongruous, given the way that Mr. Flynt has made his money. So how do you respond to that?
I'm sure that Hillary doesn't necessarily approve of everything I do. So, but if I've got a choice between anything I've seen in the Republican bill or Hillary, I'm going to vote for her.
Right. Do you think of yourself, I mean, this is going to seem like a strange question, but do you think of yourself as a feminist?
Oh, yeah, I think, well, people in Gloria Steinem's world, they don't. They think I'm the misogynist of the century, you know.
Right, right.
But, you know, I can't change their way of thinking. I've never had a model come into my office that said she felt that she was being exploited.
Do you think that, that sexism is one of the big barriers, or one of the biggest obstacles that Hillary Clinton will have to overcome to become president of the United States?
No, I don't think it plays at all. Right. It might irritate Rand Paul a little bit. Other than that, I don't think it's going to bother anybody.
You once, one of the things that a lot of people look forward to in the potential of Hillary Clinton in the presidency, if you're a Democrat, you look forward to the notion of Bill Clinton being there in the White House. I know you've said in the past that Bill Clinton has told you that you are his hero. Tell that story.
Oh, yeah, I outed Bob Livingston during the trial of the Senate after the impeachment of Clinton, and it wasn't looking very good for the president at the time, but that seemed to make everybody stop and think, hey, what are we doing here? Why are we asking for everybody's head on a platter? You know?
Right. But you ran into him someplace in Las Vegas, you said, at some point, and he came up to you and...
Yeah, I was at a fundraiser in Las Vegas, and he came up to me, he shook my hand, and he said, you're my hero. And I said, oh, I mean, a lot coming from you.
You mentioned the Bob Livingston thing, and you've done this in the past with Bob Livingston, and you've tried to do something I'm going to describe now on a variety of Mitt Romney, others, where you've put out ads asking for people to come forward with stories about their sexual scandals, if they have any in their closet. You've hired investigators to do work in this area. I'm curious whether in 2016 you plan to be involved in the campaign that way, looking into the lives of Republicans.
No, and I'll tell you why. 30 years ago, you could take a politician down with just a sexual affair. You can't anymore. The last guy I outed was Vitter, the senator from Louisiana.
David Vitter, right?
David Vitter. He got reelected to the Senate, and he's getting ready to run for governor of New Orleans. So there must be some kind of complicity and corruption or something in order to really be able to bring them down.
Right. Right. I mean, presumably you think that's not the worst thing in the world, right? I mean, there had been for a long time so much primness around the issues of sexual indiscretion, so-called.
No, but the reason why I went after him is there's no hypocrisy around my company, and I don't think that there should be hypocrisy in politics, you know. That's the reason why I wanted to out him. You got a guy, he's got 2 mistresses, and he's married, and, you know, you think he's Ward Cleaver. And, you know, he's just not, and he's just not.
Ward Cleaver, the famous father on Leave It to Beaver, I think you're referring to there. Okay. But you did try to do this with Romney in 2012, so...
Not anything on sexual. I was trying to get information on his tax returns.
On his tax returns, that's right.
On his tax returns.
Right. So will you do that kind of thing then? Not on the sexual side, but on the other... Will you put any resources into the notion of trying to investigate any or whoever the Republican nominee is?
Oh, if we get a bona fide lead and we think there's something to it, we'll definitely look into it.
So there's some chance that you could be sort of like you could end up being sort of like a pro-Hillary super PAC.
No.
A one-man hope pro-Hillary super PAC.
Hillary don't need no help from me.
You know, we were talking about the Republican field. You think about Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. We talked about Jeb Bush, Scott Walker. Mike Huckabee, you know, that whole range of people. Which of those candidates are there any of those that you would find remotely close to acceptable as a potential president of the United States?
I think if you're a climate denier, that disqualifies you to be president. And Rubio, who seemed to have everything going for him, he's on all the right-wing talking points, you know, and that just troubles me, you know, having somebody like that in the White House. I don't think if Bush shoves enough money into this thing, I think he can get the nomination. But I don't think in his wildest dreams he can beat Hillary. He can never get away from his brother. As much as he would like to, it's not going to happen because there's too many questions to be answered, and there's too many questions that nobody has an answer for, you know. And this is really very unfair to Bush. But, you know, my grandfather used to have a saying that the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree.
Right. And if you were looking, I know I asked you about your past endeavors to snoop around or try to unearth information, do investigative reporting on some of these Republicans. Who, if you think about that field, who strikes you as being the most likely to have skeletons in their closet?
Mike Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The most adamant ones are the ones that's got the most to hide.